Unstoppable Boomers will report the Chapter 5 entitled Speech Acts, and I'm Joanna Smoldes and I will be reporting the first part of our topic. In this chapter, we will focus on speech acts and we will deal with other topics. First, what is speech acts? Speech acts is a subfield of pragmatics that studies how words are used not only to present information, but also to carry out actions. It is not only describe things, but also it is often used to do things such as by doing, act, or perform an act. It is concerned with the functional value of utterances with language used to perform an actions. From the word pragmatics, it is to do with how language in context the relationship between language use and language form. It deals with various aspects of non-literal meaning. For example, can you help me? In this sentence, we can easily identify what he or she currently using speech acts. He or she is using a request or seeking some help. Next is the form and functions. Form and functions are different. Same function may perform by a variety of forms. Same form may express a variety of functions. Why do we need to study speech acts? There are two reasons why do we need to study speech acts. First, it is important to us as a learners, especially by knowing by its functions such as requests, apologies, suggestions, commands, offers, and appropriate responses of act. And lastly, it can help us to improve our performance of speech acts the way we interact people. The next topic will be discussing by my group mates.
Hi everyone! At this time, we will be learning performatives, illocutionary force, and indirect speech act. Performatives. According to Austin, there is a special type of verb in which the uttering of the verb is also doing the action. For example, I order you to leave. The performative verb here is order, and that verb is also called performative because performative utterance was expressed with a performative verb in a simple present tense and active voice. There are three types of act in the performance of the utterance. The first is the locutionary act. It is the expression of literal or semantic meaning of an utterance. The second is the perlocutionary act. It is how an act received by the hearer. And last is the main concern of the chapter, the illocutionary act or illocutionary force. It is the speaker intention in making an utterance. The speech act proper such as greeting, inviting, offering, requesting, and more. For example, I promise to pay you back is an illocutionary act which intends to communicate. Next topic is indirect speech act. It is a case in which one illocutionary act is performed indirectly by way of performing another. Take for example, can you pass the salt? This utterance is a question to the hearer's ability to pass the salt, and its indirect way is requesting you to pass the salt. So I guess that's all. Thank you so much for
Moving forward, this time we will be tackling about Felicity Condition. Felicity is taken from the Latin word felix or happy. Felicity conditions are the conditions that must be in place or the criteria that must be satisfied for the speech act to achieve its purpose. For example, the speech act of ordering. In this situation, the speech act is felicitous or successful because the student must be follow the order of the teacher or the superior. But if you're going to reverse the situation, the speech act is infelicitous or unsuccessful because there's no such student would order to the teacher to clean the board. Types of felicity condition: propositional content condition, preparatory condition, sincerity condition, and essential condition. Any of these conditions are not fulfilled, the utterances are not felicitous or unsuccessful. Example, suppose that I am an actor.
I promise to kill the evil Don
This
Rafael.
example is infelicitous or unsuccessful because I do not meet the following condition. Propositional content condition, I am actually acting. In the preparatory condition, I do not have the authority to kill anyone. In the sincerity condition, I don't intend to kill anyone. And last but not least, the essential condition, I am not expecting that my word is acted upon. So that's all for the facility condition. Thank you.
Good day everyone. Today I am going to discuss about the cross-cultural and interlanguage, structured pragmatics, and methods for researching speech act. Cross-cultural pragmatics focuses on a native speaker performance in a given speech act. Interlanguage pragmatic focuses on how learners acquire the ability to perform a given speech act in a target language. Speech act focuses the most intensive study in both approaches are requests, refusals, apologies, and compliments. There are 5 strategies. First is an expression of apology. Example, an offer of apology, I apologize. Second is an expression of account of a situation. Example is, the bus was late. Third is an acknowledgement of responsibility. Example is, accepting the blame. It's my fault. Fourth is an offer of repair. Example is, I'll pay for the broken vase. Fifth is a promise of forbearance. Example is, it won't happen again. There are 2 types of failure. First is the socio-pragmatic failure. Second is the pragmalinguistic failure. And also there are 3 types of conducted studies by Einstein and Weinbach on 1993. First is the cross-cultural comparison. Second is the interlanguage study. Third is the learners. And in structured pragmatics, the investigation of speech act development is instructional context. And in methods for researching speech act is discourse completion. Text were used to collect data in the speech and research discussed. And there are 3 approaches, Jacker 2009. First is the armchair, subdivided into philosophic and interview. Second is the field, divided into diary, philological, conversation, analytic, and corpus. Third is the laboratory, divided into discourse completion, task, and the role play. And that's all for my
Hi
report.
everyone. Today, I will be discussing to you the number of problems in applying speech act theory to language teaching and application to pedagogy. Speech act theory has been very influential in a number of fields, including applied linguistics. However, there are remain fundamental problems in applying speech act theory to language teaching. And these are: first is how universal speech act categories. Second is how many speech act there. Third is the contrast between specific and diffuse acts. Fourth is the size of speech act realization forms. Fifth is discrete categories versus skill of meaning. Sixth is empirical versus introspective data. These 6 problems ask what the extent undermine attempts to apply speech act theory in the field of language pedagogy. In addition, consideration to the given question of whether future development in speech act theory is likely to offer the possibility of further advances in application. And next topic is application to pedagogy. What is pedagogy? It is a method and practice of teaching, especially as an academic subject or theoretical concept. It requires meaningful classrooms interactions between educators and learners. The goal is to help students build on their prior learning and develop skills and attitudes. And one of the most powerful pedagogical examples is where a students and teacher work and learning together. Students also work together and use each other's skills and expertise to accomplish a set of learning tasks. And that's all.